How's everybody doing today?
Great.
Fantastic.
Good.
How is everyone? We all good?
I'm still trying to figure out what day it is, what time it is, what time zone I'm on.
Oh yeah, David, I've missed you.
Yeah. So trying to get back to normal. I literally haven't washed the plane off me yet. So
I heard you had some big news.
Yeah, so I got engaged over the break. So exciting.
Congratulations, man.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah,
That's
super excited
huge.
about it.
Well,
Appreciate
that's
it.
awesome.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Do you guys have,
That is
do you
awesome.
guys have a date set?
Yeah, so we're doing August next year.
Okay. 2021.
August 21st, 2021. So 21.
21. Very cool. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
How long
definitely. What's that?
How long have you two been dating?
2 years.
Oh, cool.
2 years, and we've been living together and the whole thing. So it kind of just
It's
made
time.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
It is
thanks, y'all.
exciting.
I appreciate it. So definitely dropping back down into reality airport right now.
And when did you get back home? When did you land?
Oh man, a few hours ago.
Oh, today.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
You didn't get
Yeah.
home and have a full 8 hours of sleep before starting work today.
No, so I was up.
Oh.
I was up at like 4 and traveling all day. So
And
powering through it.
it's so 4 is really your 2. You're now 2. No, you're 3.
I gained
You
an
would be
hour.
1 hour
I
ahead.
gained an
You
hour
gained
though
an
on
hour.
the way back. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Ooh.
But as you can see, all the dogs and stuff were happy to see me. I'm glad.
Awesome.
I'm glad to be back at it. Yeah, for sure.
It's good to have you back. Yeah. Well, real quick, does anyone have any questions or anything before we get jumped into any specific topics or any topics that you guys would like to discuss today? Anything's fair game.
I have like giant knots in my neck, and I like work on it with this thingy because I see Emily all the time. But like anytime I work on it, I get such a bad headache after, so it's just really annoying, and I don't know how to get rid of them.
Knots are tough. David, do you have any advice on that? Because I don't know. I have.
No, yeah, that's a little bit out of my lane or like line of expertise. Just to be completely honest with you, I would try to do the things that you're doing. With a lot of my clients, I have people get headaches if they're straining really hard on like some type of upper body pushing or pulling, and their neck and shoulders like that. If you're carrying tension around and even after you're rolling it out, I don't really know what to do. It sounds like you're doing all the, fascial releases.
Yeah.
That's normally what I tell
I'm
people to do.
hoping that now that I don't have to swing on a bar for gymnastics every day, and that I don't have to wear a heavy backpack on my shoulders, then hopefully it'll get better. But it just seems to just stay.
Yeah, chronic like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would keep doing that and just make sure that there's not like a certain point. You go to like a PT or something like that. If there's like a certain area and like in your lower trap or something like that, that's not getting activated or super weak or something like that, because it can be just like one point somewhere back there that's not getting activated when you do strength work or when you're sitting upright and stuff like that. So maybe something worth looking into.
Okay, awesome, thanks.
Along those lines, exercise-induced headaches, they're a real thing. They're pretty uncommon. Have any of you guys had that? A bad one? It's horrible.
I have.
I got one yesterday,
Did you really?
and I woke up with it this morning. So I haven't worked out yet because I'm scared.
I've always
I don't know.
attributed it to being dehydrated, not necessarily the exercise, though.
Probably both.
Typically, from my understanding, it's excessively tight traps while working any kind of upper body work where you're under heavy load and extreme tension Yeah, extreme tension in your traps, but that will rate with everything being so connected. So you've got muscle, you've got tendon, they kind of feather into each other, and then tendon kind of feathers into bone. But from my understanding, what I've read about it is it begins upper traps and then it'll radiate up to the base of your neck, which is where the muscle stops. Well, you have a little bit of muscle. I have a lot of muscle on my head, just kidding. But where it feathers into the bone, it's just so much tension. And so when I've only had one in my life, and I was doing pull-ups, and we were doing high rep pull-ups, and we were working kipping pull-ups. So we were just going for a time and a speed element. And something happened where as soon as I got up over the bar, I dropped. And I thought I was having a stroke or something. It was excruciating pain. And
Jeez.
I wasn't able to connect the dots. Like, hey, this is just an exercise-induced headache. I thought it was a medical emergency because it was that severe pain. And thankfully, I had a buddy with me who was able to get me calmed down. But they're tough. They're a real thing. Scary to see and scary to go through.
Yeah, I did lat pull downs and overhead presses yesterday, and I probably went a little too hard. And then like yoga, downward dog position for a while, and then push-ups in the boot camp workout, and just kind of like a lot more upper body stuff yesterday than I have in a while. And that's why this probably hurt super bad today. And then I got a headache yesterday immediately after, and I woke up with a migraine this morning, and I'm just like, what the heck?
So not only in the upper body, but in that overhead position, it's sounding like, and I've seen that with people who have struggled with that type of stuff. It's like overhead pressing or like a vertical pull down or something, like even like an upright row. If you're really tight in those upper traps, I think that's what kind of sets it off. So maybe that gives you at least an inkling of where to focus on.
Oh. Get that taken care of better.
Yeah.
Life's too short to be injured.
I brought my lacrosse ball with me this past week, guys, and I wouldn't have been able to be. I won't say pain-free because I wasn't really working out, and I was sitting on a plane some and just sitting on my butt so yeah, it definitely is a lifesaver and doesn't take up any space, so always bring that with you.
Yeah, it's true.
Any other questions out of the blue as we get started off today?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
Let's talk about water. What's the best way to just make sure you're always drinking water?
Always have a bottle on your desk.
Yeah, have it close. All right.
Have it close.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of people lately with the whole like mask situation. I've heard this from quite a few people, how they're just not, if they're out and they have to have a mask on, whether it be at work or wherever, that they're just not sipping like they usually would because you have to take the mask off and you're fumbling with it and stuff like that.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't thought about that. For me, I always have to have water close by, because if I'm not seeing it, I'm not thinking about it. I drink all day long, even when I'm not thirsty. I'll never wait to get that feeling of thirst, but I always have water by me. So it's always right there. If I look at it, just like this call, I mean, you'll see me 3-4 times just on this half-hour call, just take little sips. It's got to be cold too. I don't do room temperature water. And so I usually, if I'm not going through these pretty quickly, I'll have several half drinking bottles and then I just recycle them through the fridge. But if it's cool and it's in sight, I'm going to drink and I'm going to stay very hydrated. And that's what works for me.
Yeah, so the CubeFit, Jessica's CubeFit was right before this, and she was actually talking about hydration, and she was talking about how Saturday is the first day of summer, and we're in Houston, so it's like front of mind right now because it's so hot. But one of the things that she kind of harps on too is getting water, not only from like your water bottle, but you know, you're getting it from certain fruits and certain vegetables and stuff like that. So just kind of being aware of that. And it's not just a water consumption, it's like a liquid consumption to stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
I also noticed for me that if I get like a favorite water bottle or something, like for a couple years, I had a giant multicolored hydro flask and it said like WSU gymnastics, and I just like drink that sucker all along. And then I just got this one my friend handmade for me, and so now I've been drinking a lot more water. And I just feel like if it's a water bottle you really like, I don't know, maybe it's a girl thing. I don't know, mine's all sparkly, so I'm just like,
yeah, you're stoked on your bottle, so you're like, yeah, I'll use it. I got you.
Yeah, whatever works.
That's funny. I do that. I'm weird too. I do that every week. Like I have one of these bottles every week, but we have just a bunch of them, and you'll see that it's the same one like Monday through Friday, and then the next week I just like rotate it out. I don't know. I have like weird things like that I don't even think about until you bring up the bottle. So
creatures of habit.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I have some Gatorade bottles I rotate. I used to do it in Boise, and I stopped doing it because I thought I had enough. But now I'm back on like I need to hydrate more, that I've started doing it again. Just keep bottles rotating, so they always have one cold bottle.
There you go.
Yeah, that's how I am. I don't know how, like I could be this much, have that much left in the bottle, and if it's warm, I'll put it back in the fridge without even thinking. It's because that's what I do. I won't drink warm water, and then my wife just has a fit because there could be like 6 bottles with 2 ounces in you, but they're all cold.
Priorities.
Exactly.
Yeah, hydration's super important though. Anything else nutrition wise that we want to talk about while we're kind of on the water train here?
Yeah, I like you were saying, Jessica was saying about getting water from food. A lot of people don't realize that there is going to be, you know, especially in like potatoes, fruits, an apple. There's so much moisture, there's so much water in an apple. You can get it that way as well. But yeah, I think those the fruits and veggies good for water, and they're good for that fiber.
Yeah,
unreplaceable sources.
Something that I thought was super interesting I learned a long time ago is whenever you are like craving a ton, like the fruit looks really good or you really just want some grapes or something, it a lot of times is because you are dehydrated. So like yesterday I caught myself like going to the fridge and ate like 5 big things of watermelon, and I was like, I should probably drink some water. That's probably why I'm wanting all this watermelon. So
yeah, that's so true. Yeah, watermelon and strawberries are in season, so those are 2 juicy ones where you can get some water, kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, get the fiber, get the micronutrients, some like vitamins and minerals and stuff like that. That's good. Another thing that happens for me too is like, even if I need food, let's say it was like a hard workout and there was some type of like cardio or something like that, I don't like, even if I'm quote unquote hungry or my body needs fuel, I don't want that food until I'm hydrated again. You know what I mean? Like if you're really hot and sweaty, like a Gatorade, like one of those small Gatorades sounds so much better right after your workout than like a big plate of food, you know? But as soon as you get that Gatorade in, about 15, 20 minutes later, you're ready to roll. So
look
this
out,
tells you
right?
how important it is.
I'm a big fan of coconut water. I always have been. That's my treat. I like to treat myself. I don't drink it all the time, but I like to pick up a little quart of it here and there. Just a little variation, a little variety from plain old water. I don't drink much other than water, so it's good stuff.
Well, I always know like I'm dehydrated because if I'm dehydrated, I'll like eat, and I drink skim milk with most meals, and I'll take 2 bites, and all of a sudden I'll have just chugged half the glass of skim milk, and I'll be like, oh, you did not drink enough water today, because just toss that back like it was my job.
Yeah, I do that too. I like that Fairlife milk. I drink their skim milk. It's good. If you haven't tried it and you like skim milk, it's getting not that much carbs, like all the same like nutrient like profile and everything, but it tastes really good and there's more protein. So
I'll have to give that a shot because a little more
Yeah, and
protein in
there's
my milk, that's never a problem.
and for people who have like any problems with a bunch of lactose, maybe not intolerant, but if you're, if you take a bunch in that bothers you, there's no lactose in it. So
Okay.
That's interesting. I have not had milk for
What's that
probably
word again?
15, 20 years because of that reason. I didn't know it was a lactose free. I know they've been making them, but I just, since it's been so long since I've had milk, I haven't had that desire like, hey, I want milk right now all of a sudden. But yeah, it's probably
wait,
been 20.
so Mike, you've read Starting Strength
Mhm.
how many times and you don't drink
Many.
milk?
I don't drink milk. I know it's blasphemous,
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
but I'm very lactose intolerant, and that's why I stopped
Okay.
drinking milk. I went over to soy milk when that started. Went off the soy, went on to almond, and then just kind of phased it out. But yeah, it all started from a lactose issue. There's some ice cream in very small moderations, but moderation and ice cream don't go in the same sense with me personally. Servings, whatever it comes in. And yeah, I lost my taste for milk, but it's interesting. There's the lactose free. So we'll have to get that a shot.
Yeah, just ideas for people.
how many people, are there out there that aren't like lactose intolerant but are like lactose sensitive? And
That's me. That's me
yeah.
for sure. I'm not intolerant, but if I overdo it, I'll feel it.
I don't think I'm either. I'm in the category of most people where if you drink a gallon at a time, you're going to feel it. But I think most people are at that level of sensitivity.
Well, that goes for like gluten too, right?
Mhm.
I've had people that I've talked to in the past, and they were like, I have celiac disease, but like a doctor didn't tell them this, and I was like, oh, so when did you feel bad? And they're like, after eating half a pizza. And then I'm like, okay, so have one bite of pizza or one slice of pizza and see how you feel. They come back the next week, they're like, I'm not gluten
I'm not gluten
intolerant. Like,
intolerant.
no
I'm
kidding.
healed.
You
I'm
just had
healed.
all the carbs at one time. Yeah. So it's funny.
Oh, that's amazing.
People just tell themselves this story, and don't kind of test the waters a little bit more.
There was a hot second where I thought that I was like, had gluten problems because I'd eat like a sandwich before gymnastics practice. But it was really just because I was flipping upside down too close to eating, and I was like, my stomach does not feel good.
Yeah.
But now I'm fine, so.
Yeah, that timing window of what type of activity you're doing and how much of, how much carbohydrate or whatever it is. I mean, I've had that before where, I thought I was carb loading, but then you have too much fat with it. Because you want like a smooth digesting, one of those fast digesting carbs. And I think me and my buddy had like lasagna before a basketball practice, and it just sits like a brick there,
But yeah, that's a gut bomb.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. You live and learn.
It was like super interesting. My last semester that I just finished, I took nutrition for the physically active, and so I was just learning about how everybody's like GI distress is different, and then I'm kind of upset that I took that my last semester of my senior year, because if I would have learned that before I started college athletics, I would have gone to practice a lot less times with an upset stomach. But it is like super interesting stuff to learn about the best stuff and the windows of when to eat and all that
You
stuff.
didn't get any guidance as far as like nutrition goes when you're there? Not really.
I was like, you'd have to reach out to the nutritionist at my school, but otherwise my coach was never really pushing nutrition, and she didn't set the best example with her nutrition. So it was kind of like, I just had to mess around for 4 years and figure out what worked.
Right.
Yeah, we had a lot of that at the university I went to as well. There's just kind of a disconnect between like the nutritional aspect versus the sport aspect of it. And there was nothing that really tied them together at the school. I know it's been fixed since I've been graduated and gone, but it's a big piece of that. I mean, just like strength training for athletes, you got to have that nutritional counseling consultations as well. It's, you can't do just all strength.
Yeah, with those programs, if the more holistic and the more communication there is between the strength coach and the sport coach and the RD or nutritionist or whatever, the best experience you're gonna have athletically, and then also just life in general when you're learning those things. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be super beneficial if there was like a way for every type of person to learn like what's best to eat for when you're doing this or when you're doing that. And like even in the sports world, like for a football player is much different than a gymnast, and like they don't really go to different sports until, or even like now before, like what should I eat now before I work out, just as a regular being fit person. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it varies so much from person to person as well. You know, people we're so different. You know, what I need to eat is different from what David needs to eat. You know, it's so different. I know for me personally, if I'm having a morning workout, I like to start out with the protein and the fat. That's my fuel source prior to workout. I'll get the carbohydrate in afterwards, but I won't ingest carbohydrate prior to working out. It does not work for me. I know it works well for others, but my sweet spot is David as well. A little bit of fat, a little bit of protein, and Dad, pet me. But afterwards, I'll have a lean protein and a carbohydrate, and that's how I work. That's how my body likes.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's funny because that's the perfect example, because I'm the same with the protein, but I want some more carbs, and I'm lower on the fats, just in the pre and post like workout. If I have control of it. Sometimes I'm not able to control it. Being at home now, I can pretty well, and in most situations I can, but I keep it lower on the fat around the workout timing, a little bit higher carb, making sure I'm getting a nice protein bolus, and then kind of opposite of what Mike said, I'll get some fats like in some of my other meals throughout the day. So you kind of have to test it and know what your GI is like and what you're gonna feel like when you're training and all that stuff.
Yeah. I really don't feel like you can pick up a book, read it, and that book is going to serve everybody. You've got to make modifications to your own personal.
Yeah. Well, it's really good to know the principles, like strength training or nutrition or anything, and but knowing that that's not set in stone, and knowing that you're just gonna you can use those guidelines and then modify them as needed with you or your clients or anybody that you're working with. And I'm saying this now after eating all the food the last week, so just take it with a little grain of salt.
You earned it.
What was the best?
Go ahead, Mike. You got better advice. I can see where you're going.
No. You go. Go, Austin.
I see where you're going. Nope, you finish up.
Austin or David, what was the best thing you had when you were out there?
Best thing I had while I was out there, man. I had so much good seafood. Shrimp, scallops, crab cakes, a little bit of lobster, bunch of desserts. We just went all in, So
sounds real rough.
Yeah. and no exercise, like almost no exercise. Just kind of moving when I could. I think I got one workout in. And kind of a take-home point with that is I think it's good for you. I think it's good for you to do that, especially if you're as active as I am normally. All those micro tears and muscles are healing up. Sometimes I'll have little aches and pains somewhere. Like sometimes my elbows give me like little issues. Haven't felt anything at all. Just getting that complete recovery. And I know that I haven't really lost anything when I go back to it next week. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, really, really good to take some time off if you've earned it.
Mm-hmm. Agreed there.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else you guys want to discuss? We still got some time left today. You guys all out enjoying I see Hannah's out there enjoying the sunshine.
Yeah, I get to go to the coast this weekend. It's supposed to be like 80 here in the valley, and then the coast is supposed to be like 67, 70, which the Oregon coast is pretty good, but it says like partly sunny, and I guess the wind's probably going to be high, but it's nice to get away. I'll get some seafood this weekend too.
Nice.
Yeah, we're going crabbing one of the days, and then we always have oysters when we're there. I'm not the biggest fan, but I always force myself to eat one.
I'm not the
Could be a
biggest fan
trooper.
either.
Yeah.
That's blasphemy to some people, but I'm with you there.
I've still not made it to the Oregon coast. I need to.
Mm-hmm. It's gorgeous.
Same here.
Going up to the mountains tomorrow morning.
Nice.
So kettlebell class will be from the mountains.
Nice.
Yay! Can't
I
argue
feel
with
like
that.
I knew this already, but still, always exciting.
Someone may have told you.
Someone.
Did you get a hotspot set up?
We did. So my wife was able to get one checked out from work. So
Nice.
don't know how, like if she's going to be on a call and I'm going to be on a call at the same time, I don't think that that's going to work. But I will probably be doing most of my stuff from my iPad. I've got cell signal on there and at least get on Zoom that way.
Fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. We have an excavator coming up to be doing some work. So that's pretty exciting.
Nice.
Yes. There's a lot of people going up hunting berries this weekend as well. I've been hearing a lot of people, seeing a lot of my friends on Facebook going up to the mountain. And actually, Maddie was talking about that as well.
Yeah.
Berry season.
I got to jump off early, guys, but I hope you all have a good weekend. Mike, I'll see you up at the mountains tomorrow.
Austin, have a great afternoon.
Yeah, Austin. Take care, buddy.
Yep, see y'all.
Austin, so he's been taking my kettlebell class in the mornings, and he has not had a kettlebell or a dumbbell or anything. So he's been using a folding camping chair.
My
Make it
God.
work. I love it.
It's been working kind of mostly. So after, I don't know, I think it's been 8 weeks now that he's been using that. Finally, he found a 30 and a 35-pound dumbbell. And no, I take that back. He found a pair of 30s and a single 35. So that's quite a jump up from his chair he's been using.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
But we're making it work.
I wonder, see, I took tomorrow off, but I wonder if I have Zoom on my phone for just like when I did class projects before this. And I wonder if I could hop on my phone if I have good enough service there. I don't know. We'll see.
Please do. I encourage that. You have the link, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're always welcome on there.
Because I have a kettlebell now.
Nice.
So I'm pumped.
I was just telling David that, well, actually both Hannah and Cassidy got to go back to campus and assist with putting in the new squat rack.
Mm-hmm.
So
We got to go for one day.
One
Because
day.
then Cassie, I was scared because we went on Tuesday and then Wednesday Cassie got sick and then we were supposed to go
That's right.
Thursday and Friday, so we didn't go.
That's right.
But she just got
Oh,
her test
man.
results back and she's negative, so
She's negative.
it's all good.
Good. Good. My girlfriend got tested too. Or oh crap, I have to say fiance now. My fiance got tested the other day. Count myself. I haven't used it yet. And it looked so uncomfortable. Oh my god, way up there. It was quick, but you earn it for sure.
Man, that thing's got to be like a foot long. It looks like just
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, it was good. Good to be back. Good to talk to you guys. Good to see your faces.
Good to have you back, and once again, congratulations. Super excited
Yeah,
for you
congrats.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you
That's
guys
great
so
news.
much. I appreciate it.
And we will pick up where we left off next Tuesday.
Sounds
Thanks for letting
good.
me join.
Yeah.
Yep. Have a
See
great
y'all.
day, all.
Bye.